Do you think it'd be crazy to spend 6 months away from everyone and everything you know, all your favorite spots? We don't actually.
Mm-mm, no. And I think it's not crazy for us because we've both done it multiple times.
Yeah,
Our crazy, I mean, our families think it's crazy sometimes, but at this point, they're just like, you know what? Y'all gonna do what you're gonna do.
yeah.
That's actually where y'all word came from.
Yep.
Yeah, we could talk about that because for me personally, traveling around by myself, people would always reach out to me on WhatsApp or text message. And it's like, where are you in the world right now? That was always the question. Or like, where are you? You where? And so,
And so I would always take cool pictures. So if you ever scroll down my Instagram, you can see all these crazy like travel photos, drone shots from like pretty much everywhere I've ever been. So I would get the same question, you're where? And then I would purposefully be kind of mysterious with it. So just pop up a picture here and there. So people would kind of be curious and have that question. And I'd always try to film like positive content so people could see, oh man, he's actually out there having a good time, even if it was a little bit sketch sometimes.
well, nice.
Some of
Nice.
the places I've been are real sketch. What about you?
I've definitely been to some sketch places, had some very sketchy moments in countries that I won't even call out, but yeah. And so we were like, we both experienced that from family and friends. Like, where are you? So we're like, y'all, where? That's where the name came from.
Yeah. And so, as far as being like sketchy, not either of us. Neither of us have ever been sketchy in
No,
our
of
entire
course
life.
not.
No, absolutely not. But we think about the difference of being sketchy here in America versus being sketchy abroad. So let's say sketchy here, we live downtown, so walking around downtown is almost not really an option because there's so many homeless people. And this is going to sound terrible, but I call them zombies because sometimes they're like,
Well, because we had somebody the other day. We were driving down the street. She was basically about to walk into our car because she was literally crossing the street and it almost looked like a zombie, like she wasn't there. And people may be offended by that. You might want to just turn this video off. But like she was about to walk into the truck because she was just not there. And so we see that a lot living in downtown Houston. And it's sad, but it's the reality of a lot of major cities in America right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
And don't get us wrong, the world has homelessness, the whole world all over. I remember when I went to Nepal some years ago with a friend of mine that has a bunch of charities, and so he went to a shanty town that they had on the village. And I was there to kind of help and do what I could do because a lot of places I've been and the people I'm with, I would be the only black person, so it was always a pretty interesting reaction. So I was like, all right, I'm here to help. How can I help? And he was like, no, you can't come with me down here to the little shanty town. And so it was on the edge of the river in Kathmandu. And so I'm like, why? He's like, it's very dangerous. And then it's to keep you safe, not only from the danger, but he's like, it's a real emotional thing for a lot of people that have never done it before. And so we kind of drove past and he pointed it out as we were crossing a bridge out there. And I was like, dang. But I even think like in Thailand, we would see kind of like those shanty kind of structures that would be in the back alleys and corners of cities. And very obviously people live there. And I'm like, man, I'm beyond blessed. But you don't really see it as much abroad, or they don't have as much attitude because they understand that they're homeless and people feel a certain type of way about them, so they kind of stay out of the way or whatever. Here, it almost seems like the homeless people want to kind of try to fight you if you don't give them what they want, and you're just like, man, hello?
Yeah. It's really sad. So, yeah. But right now, with this whole journey that we have to stop saying journey we're embarking on. Like, I got to find another phrase. So, excuse me, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But for this next chapter, we will be spending 6 months in America and 6 months abroad. What made you want to do that? I know my reasons, but just tell me a little bit about yours.
So for me, it's not that every day isn't an adventure out here, but it really feels like every day is an adventure when I'm overseas, especially like the last time we were over there and we had the scooter. It's
Oh
fun.
Lord, we got some scooter stories, y'all. But go
It's
ahead.
it's fun being on two wheels, rocking and rolling overseas because you just feel kind of free. And I know there are traffic laws and rules. It doesn't quite seem like it, but at least when you're over there, unlike being on a motorcycle or a scooter out here, everyone is looking out for you and you traveling on the way. So that's one of my favorite things about being abroad because I don't feel it's really too safe to ride bikes over here, even though I am a motorcycle rider. We just kind of don't do it. But what about you?
And like you said about the way they drive over there, it almost seems like an organized chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might look like it's, you know, a lot going on and people are doing this and doing that, but everyone knows the flow. They understand how it works. And really, a lot of times when you do see accidents and things, it's tourists who are kind of messing up that flow. So I agree about that. For me, being 6 months in America, 6 months abroad, part of it is because, yeah, I also love the adventure aspect of it. I like to, I mean, I've lived in a lot of the major cities here in America. I've lived in LA, I lived in New York, you know, being in Houston. One of my favorite things to do, no matter what city I'm in, is just to go and explore the city. So I'm the kind of person, I do like to walk around. So I want to walk around. When I was in LA, when I first moved there, I would walk around with a camera and I'm just taking pictures of all these things because for me, that's just fun. I don't even have to be spending any money or I can be alone. It's just something that I love to do for fun. So if you do that in a whole nother country, it's like 10x the fun for me. I just love doing it. And just experiencing the different cultures and also the other travelers that I meet along the way. I've met some really great friends traveling
Yeah.
abroad and you know, now it's like I have friends all over the world because of these experiences. But for the 6 months of being in America, I think we have a shared reason for that. You want to kind of explain a little bit?
So 6 months of being in America, I'm gonna kind of segue into food because I'm a big foodie. I love food. I can cook, make just about everything.
Y'all gotta have some of his food.
Yesterday I made Biscoff blondies, delicious. And then I've been trying to perfect my iced matcha latte. And so today I made kind of a gingerbread iced matcha latte with a holiday foam on top. Look out, Starbucks, we're coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the food abroad. Man, I just love the food overseas because, like she said, it's an adventure. Everything you're trying, some of the stuff is fantastic. Some of the stuff you're like, I don't know about that too much. But here, I'm from Texas, Houston, born and raised. Barbecue, barbecue, barbecue. I can't help it. Yeah, barbecue. It's hard to find barbecue overseas. Only thing close I've had is in Vietnam. Bangkok has a couple places where they look really good, but I think it's just missing the spice that we have down here in the whole Texas Southwest region. So for me, I love Houston for the food because in Houston you've had just about every kind of cuisine
Yeah.
across the planet: Caribbean, Indian, Vietnamese, Thai, American, Mexican. I think we've done Malaysian, maybe not.
Everything is here.
But we've got everything
Yeah.
here, and a lot of times here, because of the people's flavor profiles and their taste, it's often better than it is overseas. I would put up Houston pho versus Vietnamese pho every day, all day. And I think you would do the same.
It's
So
good. Yeah.
for me, one of the main reasons is food, but also family. But I'm going to let her talk on the family aspect.
Yeah, the family aspect is really why I would never say I'm fully leaving America. You know, you have a big, strong family base here in Houston. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally, so I have family in Cleveland. I have family in Atlanta. I have family all over. So I think family is really important. Just keeping those ties. Like I've never want to move away and be on my own isolated little part of the world and miss all of those family moments because I know how important it is. I've already lost both of my parents. So like the family that I do have here, I want to be able to still have that connection. And for him, I really want him to have that connection and be connected to his family while there's time to do that.
Right.
We don't want to lose out on family ties.
Yeah.
So.
Because my parents are about to be 65 and 70. And so, I mean, you never really know how much time you have left with anybody. So you might as well cherish that. I've got a little nephew right now. I've got a niece on the way. And then my cousin has a baby. They've got a second baby on the way. And so there are a whole lot of reasons for me to still be in America, not to mention I have family all over too. We got family in Iowa, Atlanta as well, so we both need to make a trip to Atlanta pretty soon, maybe next month, which would be October 2025 if you're watching this in a later date. And even up in Tennessee, I've got family. I got family in Virginia. There's so much family that I want to be able to connect with and kind of grow with, that's kind of one of the versus things that it's like, man, I don't really have any family overseas. I got a bunch of friends overseas, but family is here.
But we're also trying to change that. So one thing that we want to do is get our family into more international trips. So it's not just always coming, to Houston or going to Ohio or Georgia or whatever. We can do family trips abroad. And so both of our families are open to it. And so we're going to be planning that. We just went on a cruise to Mexico with his parents. Yeah. Just, getting the family out of the country. Like, let's create these memories together.
Yes.
I think I really want that to be a part of what we all do, like bringing the families together and just creating memories that way too. Because we don't always have to come back to America. Y'all can come see us too.
Absolutely. Get a ticket. Go ahead, come over. We'll get some food. We'll cook. We'll have a game night.
Yes.
Let's see, other reasons why America versus abroad, the people. People and culture, I guess they kind of go hand in hand. When I think of America, I think of a grand old culture. And I don't know if that sounds kind of bad, but I think of like American exceptionalism, whether you believe it's true or not. I think some of our best days were in the past. Let's not get into the racial sides of that, because it varies on both sides of your perception or whatever. It is what you make it. But I think back in the day, people did treat each other with more respect out here. And we talk about littering, we talk about the driving, like you actually cared for your neighbor. You can go ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar and they give it to you. Now you ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar, you might get shot or they might just not answer the door. It's no telling.
People are afraid to connect nowadays in this country, and it's sad. We have conversations about this almost every day, so I'm not going to even get into it. It's just the mindsets here have shifted over the past however many years, and it's really saddening sometimes. And not to say any country is perfect, it's not, but we just like the experiences that we've been able to create together when we're traveling. So,
and I talk about like here, I think the shift went from selflessness to selfishness. And so you have to, if you're not looking out for your brother, sister, fellow countrymen, you're going to have all kinds of problems. And so I think a lot of times, and it could be, our government, we're set up as capitalists. And so whatever that makes you feel on the inside, it's about rugged individualism of America. And a lot of these other countries, they're collectivist countries, so they work together for the greater good. And so it's a different kind of mentality. It's like you think about when you have over here foreigners and you'll have a bunch of generations living in the same house because they're all working together. The grandparents are watching the kids while the parents are out working. And you see a lot of that overseas, whereas we were talking the other day, you'll have Americans, you have two people living in a big old house at retirement age, and they're just having to take care of a huge house. The kids are gone, or even the thing where you push the kids out of the house at 18.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's fine. Yep, cool. You push them out the house at 18, you need to make sure they got a good credit score, they got a nice bank account, they got a car, and they got some place and community that's decent that they're living in. You're not pushing them out to go live in a dangerous area you know.
Because that's all they can afford.
Right.
And the crazy thing about everything you just said is that we'll see, people move into this country and they're all living together and helping each other. And we'll look at that and judge it like, oh my gosh, there's 6 of them living in a house and blah, blah, blah. But really, that's the way they're building so that they all can get ahead.
Yep.
But we're judging it as something, that's a mockery. But that's how things used to be. And that's how it is in a lot of parts of the world. As a family, we're growing and helping everyone so that everyone can get, and create the life that they want,
Yeah. And so I had heard about this. I think they called it the Patel effect as kind of a moniker on the Indian last names because they were talking about what they did with hotels, and I thought it was very interesting. So they would come in, then they would buy a hotel, and they would live in the hotel. They would clean the hotel. They would manage the hotel for about 5 or 10 years, and then the next person up, their turn would be up to buy a hotel. They would do the same. Their family there, boom, 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 build it up, spend a couple years, boom, and they would keep it up. And they were saying that a bunch of the big hotel chains are actually run by Indian families, and I thought it was so interesting because I was
never
like,
heard that. It's really interesting.
I was like, dang, okay, and it's cool, and it's like no shade to any culture, any other people, but I think what happens here in the West, a lot of times we're so closed off, we miss those lessons that the other cultures are using to come up as far as success. And so the whole idea with us being 6 months here and 6 months there is bettering our success both from the friends that we meet and the families that we're building over there and over here. And so we tend to take into respect all cultures that we come across, and we kind of like to pick people's brains, see how they're making it work and seeing how they're putting it together so that we truly build, I coined this kind of a Swiss Family Robinson lifestyle where you're raising your family kind of all over the world and they're getting the best of everything, like a global cultural education, instead of it just being, I'm from America, we can only do it the American way, that's the only thing that exists. I think that's kind of dumb. You should take for everything. You hear people talking about America being a melting pot. Okay, it's not just for food, it's for everything. And so if you're not able to mix all the cultures, you're always going to have some kind of disconnect.
Yeah, I agree. Good point, babe.
She finally agrees with me, guys. I got one. Hey, this is going to be on YouTube forever, so keep that.
Yeah, I just think this whole experience of us living 6 months there, 6 months here is going to just be a value add to this freedom, lifestyle, and legacy that we're now building together. So I'm looking forward to it. I think only good things to happen. Even if we do it and it doesn't work out and we want to come back to America, no one can take those experiences away from us.
Correct.
The lessons, and it's only up from here.
Correct. And if you guys need any help, you have any questions, our inboxes are always open. If you've got our phone numbers, you can always text us.
Right.
We might be busy sometimes, but we'll always try to get back to you. And I think that's about it for this video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.